can't wait to fight in front of these fans, the fucking chaos, all of it. I fucking love it. Let's go.
Why Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett at UFC 324 has become the most polarizing matchup the promotion has announced in years. The fight is scheduled for January 24th. It carries an interim lightweight title, and that single decision has split the fan base almost straight down the middle. The reason for the backlash shows up immediately when you look at the division, because Arman Tsarukyan sits there as the clear #1 contender, yet the UFC chose a rising star who was unranked 18 months ago, and a veteran many assumed was nearing the end after a knockout loss to Max Holloway. What nobody expected was the UFC turning this into more than a fun matchup, since this bout now doubles as a gamble on the future direction of the entire 155-pound division, and that tension is exactly why everyone is talking about it.
Justin Gaethje, last fight, it was like when I go to the cage, you know, this guy, he hit like truck, you know, like no.
Veteran voices like Ariel Helwani wasted no time calling the decision bogus matchmaking, and the core complaint stays simple no matter who you ask. Arman Tsarukyan earned his position through results, yet the UFC chose star power over order, which meant rankings took a back seat to attention and ticket sales. By attaching an interim belt, the promotion guaranteed that the winner becomes the next mandatory challenger for undisputed champion Ilia Topuria. And that changed the tone from curiosity to outrage almost overnight. The comparison people keep making lands closer to professional wrestling than sport, where storylines outweigh placement. But here's the thing, the business logic explains the move even if fans dislike it. April delivered Paddy Pimblett a TKO over Michael Chandler. Justin Gaethje followed with a brutal win against Rafael Fiziev, and the result was two proven attractions tied together with championship stakes, which gave the UFC a clear reason to put them under the bright lights of the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. At 37 years old, Justin Gaethje enters this fight with the weight of finality hanging over every exchange. Recent comments on his own YouTube channel made his mindset clear, because he openly acknowledged that this stage of his career is about one last run at UFC gold, not building towards some distant future. The record behind him reads like a list of collisions: wars with Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler, capped by the BMF fight against Max Holloway that many believe closed the door on title hopes. None of that stopped Gaethje from resurfacing as a spoiler, and that's where the story turns, because he has made a career out of ruining carefully laid plans. Ranked 4th going into this matchup, the plan mirrors his past disruptions: step in as the underdog, derail the promotion's narrative, and force a legacy fight with Ilia Topuria before walking away on his own terms. Paddy Pimblett stands on the opposite side of the timeline, carrying momentum that few fighters experience this quickly. A 7-0 UFC record sits on top of a 9-fight overall win streak, and for years, the loudest criticism focused on favorable matchmaking and aging opponents. That narrative cracked when elbows from Mount stopped Michael Chandler, a finish that pushed Pimblett into the top 5 and quieted doubts about his ability to survive elite wrestling pressure. From there, the tone shifted fast, because interviews turned sharper. Gaethje caught insults, and even standing near Ilia Topuria in Qatar drew security attention. The result is bigger than trash talk, since a win over a veteran like Gaethje would validate every claim Pimblett has made since signing with the UFC and turn hype into undeniable. Stylistically, the matchup resists easy predictions, and the numbers explain why analysts hesitate. Gaethje averages over 6 significant strikes per minute at nearly 60% accuracy, pairs that output with destructive leg kicks, and backs it up with some of the strongest takedown defense in the division. Across the cage stands a second-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with 10 submission wins that frame every scramble as a potential finish, which meant the danger shifts the moment the fight hits the mat. Reach adds another wrinkle, because Pimblett's 73 inches give him 3 more than Gaethje, offering just enough space to flirt with safety while hunting transitions. Chandler managed early wrestling success against Pimblett, yet durability changed that fight's direction, and Pimblett's belief stays simple: survive the early violence, let Gaethje slow, and grab a neck or arm when the chaos finally opens. Fight week never stays quiet at this level, and this buildup followed the pattern perfectly. Images from Gaethje's camp spread online, with fans pointing to marks on his neck and whispering about possible staph issues. Social media forced a response, and Gaethje brushed it off as an ingrown hair paired with a blurry frame that made brisket in his mouth look like something else entirely. The explanation sounded absurd, yet it revealed how closely every detail gets examined once stakes rise. While speculation swirled around the veteran, Pimblett's camp moved in silence, focusing on repetition, range management, and keeping his legs clear of the kicks that have ended so many nights early. Taken together, this fight sits at a crossroads for the lightweight division. One side carries experience, damage, and urgency, while the other brings momentum, belief, and a willingness to skip the line if the opportunity appears. January 24th promises an atmosphere charged by that clash, because an interim belt, fair or not, raises the cost of every mistake. One exchange likely decides whether a career closes or a new era begins. Drop your predictions in the comments, because this matchup leaves no middle ground. Subscribe for more UFC 324 coverage, hit the like button if this breakdown helped frame the stakes, and I'll see you in the next one.